Hey everybody, welcome back to the Bourbon Note. I'm Ben, got barrel proof whiskey on the bar. Let's get into it. All right, as I said, I've got barrel proof whiskey on the bar. This is BAM, Elijah Craig Barrel Proof B524. Well, I might be a little bit late on this. I know a lot of people have their reviews out already, but to be honest, I just finally found this one. These have been showing up in Minnesota at a decent time. You know, they used to show up months and months late. Then they got a little bit better. This one, for whatever reason, just wasn't showing up. And before I get into the whiskey, let's talk about it. It is 11 years, 2 months. Whiskey Tube, are we gonna freak out about this because it's not 12? I'm not freaking out about it. You can if you want. It is, however, 130.6 proof, so what it lacks in the extra 8 months underneath that 12-year age statement, 8 months, no, 10 months, it's 11 year, 2 months, okay. So 10 months less. It makes up for in proof, maybe. So that's kind of a reference just to how people kind of freaked out when that happened. We've talked about it enough on this channel, we don't need to get into it, but the lower age stated ones tend to just sit on the shelves forever, and I don't understand it. So this one is B524. So we've only got one more left in the Elijah Craig Barrel Proof year. That's crazy. And right off the bat, wow, this is very oaky. That's mainly what I'm getting off of this right off the bat is oak. I haven't really watched too many reviews of this. I know that they're out there, but I haven't really watched them because I'm trying not to be swayed too much. It's a little bit, yeah, just kind of tannic. There is some sweetness, but there's a little bit of like bubblegum fruitiness or something coming through. This is kind of different than what I was expecting, to be honest. Well, let's get into the palate, see what happens. Cheers. Very, very bitter and tannic on the palate. Could be just the first sip here, so we'll give it a second, going for another sip. But yeah, that really, I'm not getting a ton of sweetness off of this one. It just kind of comes across as oaky and bitter, which we kind of had that issue with the C923, and everybody shredded us for it. But it just kind of reminds me of that a little bit. I'm not saying I don't like it, but it's definitely a different lane than I was expecting. Let's go in for sip number 2 here, see if that was just a fluke. Wow, this is really just coming across bitter. I'm not getting a ton of sweetness on this at all. And the nose is really just oaky and tannic as well. I don't know about this one. It's not that that I don't like it, but it's just, it reminds me of that C923. So maybe if you're watching this and you're like everybody else on the internet that dry humped that bottle for a year, you might actually be really into this one. So I would give it a shot. But yeah, just a little different. I have another sip of this, hold on. There's a little bit of like brown sugar maybe trying to make its way through. Very hot, kind of peppery finish. That's kind of coming through. The pepper is kind of dancing around with that bitter oak note. But really, that's just what I'm getting off of this one. And I wonder, I'm gonna watch all the reviews that I haven't watched yet and see if I'm just completely alone on this one again. But yeah, this one doesn't, for 11 years, 2 months, again, we're just 10 months shy of that 12-year age statement that it used to carry. And the high proof, this is really the heat and the bitterness is kind of taking away from what could be the complexity of it, I think. It just seems to be like those two flavors, and that's kind of it. This seems to be one of those ones I might have to revisit, and not because of the neck pour. I mean, you can shred me in the comments on that too, but. Yeah, I'm just not finding much out of that. Which is weird because usually these are a total hit for me. I'm still gonna keep buying them. And again, it's not that I don't like it, but I'm not getting a ton of complexity that I was kind of hoping for at the higher proof. It's sharp, it's spicy, it's peppery, and it's tannic and a little bitter. And that's pretty much everything I'm getting out of this one. Let me know in the comments if you've had this. I want to hear your opinion on it because I wonder if, like I said before, if maybe just I'm going to be in the minority on this one. It's good, and it's good at what it does, but what it does is not what I was expecting. I was expecting a little bit more of that sweetness to kind of go along with some of those spicy, sharp barrel notes, but this one really doesn't have that. So I'd say overall, it's just I don't consider this to be a particularly well-balanced bourbon in the sense that it doesn't really have a lot of traditional bourbon flavors that are well-balanced with some of those kind of unique ones like the tannic pepper barrel notes. I know those notes in particular aren't just unique in the sense that they're not there a lot, but most bourbons just kind of have like, you know, you get your caramels, your vanillas, a little bit of your oak, the kind of brown sugar, the standard bourbon, and then they have something else that goes along with that that really kind of blends well. This one I would have been hoping for those kind of sharp tannic oak and pepper notes balanced with a little bit more of those like brown sugar caramels and vanillas. But for me, that's just not happening. But again, let me know what you think of this one. I don't know. I'm 50-50 on it. I'm not gonna have a hard time drinking the bottle of it. I mean, I enjoy it enough for that, but just considering what it is, I'm a little 50-50 on it. So anyway, thank you guys very, very much for watching. This has been Elijah Craig Barrel Proof B524 on the Bourbon Note. We'll see you on the next one.